Well, hello everybody. This is Silver Coin Hunter, and as you may have noticed by now, I haven't uploaded any videos in a really long time, and the reason why is because I've just been very busy. I still collect coins. I haven't lost interest or anything like that. I still do. And I've gone through a few boxes, but I haven't had time to upload them. But anyways, when you go onto, as you can see right now, I'm on YouTube. And when you go to my channel, as you can see, I have 944 subscribers. My channel's been going crazy lately. And then of course my most recent video right here is where I was coin roll hunting some pennies. And that was over a month ago now. And I'll just show you one of my videos. Okay, this one. 114-year-old penny found coin roll hunting. And it has over 60,000 views now. Which I didn't think I would ever have a video getting to 60,000. But I'm really happy about that. And I've been really busy with school. And I take a few AP classes. And junior year is a really hard year. Especially when you take AP classes. And one of the classes that I really like is chemistry. I love that class. And I had a chemistry test a few days ago, and I actually got 100 on it, which is really good. That means I didn't get any questions wrong, and of course I'm really happy about that. Now of course it's no big surprise because I'm really good at chemistry, but getting 100 on any test is hard. But anyways, that's enough talking for now. The video will start in 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, this is Silver Coin Hunter, and today I got a box of pennies, a box of nickels, and the pennies, for some reason there's some black marks on these rolls. This one right here, I got a new camera so I'm still trying to learn how to use it. That's a Canadian penny. And then the nickels, I did not see any enders in the nickels. So let's start with the pennies. Alright guys, I just poured out the very first roll. And the first penny that I got, the first older one, this was not an ender, but it was the one right next to it. It's a 1936 wheat penny. So that's really good to already get a pre-1940. And then right here, I got another wheat penny. But this one is 1950. And if you look at this, there's an awful lot of copper pennies in these rolls. So I think this will be a really good box. Alright guys, I just opened the 6th roll. And I found another wheat penny. And this one is a 1955 Denver. And I don't think I see any other wheat pennies in this roll. So let's move on to the next. Alright guys, I just opened 2 more rolls. And I found my 4th wheat penny in the box. And this one looks like it might be a little bit older. And that one's in 1949. Okay guys, I just opened the very next roll. So I'm on the 9th roll now. And I found my first Canadian penny. And the year of this one is 2000. Alright guys, I'm about halfway through the box now. And I found my second Canadian penny right here. And this one is actually the Centennial one. It's a 1967. And then I found 9 more wheat pennies. 1945, 1952, 1944, 1944, 1946, 1956 Denver, 1957 Denver, 1941, and a 1957 Denver. Alright guys, I'm now down to the last 5 rolls. Right here is a Canadian penny. This one's in 1995. And I have 2 pennies that are 1974S. And then I did get 9 more wheat pennies. So this one's a 1953 Denver, 1950, 1946, 1953 Denver, 1956 Denver, 1944, 1941, another 1944, and a 1952 Denver. And then check out this next roll. I got 2 Canadian pennies. One of them right here, which this one is a 12-sided one, so it's a newer one. 1995. But then check this out. This one has King George VI, which I always liked finding the George pennies. And this one's in 1946. And I don't think I have that year yet, but I have to check and see if I do. I don't think I have that year, but I always like to find these George pennies. And let's see what's in the last 5 rolls now. Alright guys, I've been through 4 more rolls, and now all I have left is the roll with the ender. Right here is a 1974S. I found another one. I found 5 more wheat pennies. A 1955 Denver, 1944, 1955 Denver, another 1955 Denver, and 1945. And now it's time to open the last roll, which is this 1973 Canadian Ender. Alright guys, I opened the very last roll in the pennies, and here is the Ender, the 1973 Canadian penny. And then there was a wheat penny in that roll. And this one's in 1950. So now it's time to move on to the nickels. Okay guys, I just opened the first roll of nickels, and right off the bat I got a 1953. But these older Jeffersons that are not war nickels or buffaloes, these are really common. So what I'm going to do is, after 25 rolls, I'm going to give an update, unless if I find something really good. But there's the first old nickel in the box, and hopefully I find something like a buffalo nickel or war nickel. Alright guys, I said I wasn't going to film until I'm halfway through the box, but right here I got what might be a war nickel. Now when they're this dark, they won't always be a war nickel, because sometimes it's just a nickel that's really tarnished, but I'm filming it just in case. And that one's not a war nickel. But there are a few other dark ones in here. And that one's not a war nickel. And that one's not a war nickel. So they're not always war nickels, but sometimes the really dark ones end up being war nickels, but not all the time. But I filmed that just in case. Alright guys, I'm about halfway through the box of nickels now. I got a 1970S, 1968S. Now let's get on to the older nickels. So I got 2 from 1958. I think they're both Denver Mint. Then I got 2 from 1957. One of them is Denver, and then one of them is Philadelphia. And I got a 1955 Denver, 1954 Denver, and I got a few 1953s. I think I got 5 of them. That one's Philadelphia, Denver. That one's Denver. This one's a Denver. And then this one right here is San Francisco. So this is an S mint mark. Those are a little bit more rare. Now we get down to the 1940s. This is a 1949. It's Denver. And then right here, I got really, really close to the war nickels. This is a 1942, but it's not a war nickel. It's Denver Mint. And if it was a war nickel, the mint mark would be above the Monticello. And then I have a few from 1940. And all of them are Philadelphia Mint. And here's one in really good condition. And then my oldest nickel so far is a 1939. Alright guys, I just opened the second to last roll. And check out what I found right here. I found a war nickel. And this one looks like it's in pretty good condition. 1943 Philadelphia Mint. So this one is 35% silver. Now let's just check for anything else that's old. I don't think I see anything else. And then here's the last roll. Alright guys, I just opened the very last roll. I did get one last old coin in the box. And this time it's a 1940. And it's Philadelphia Mint. So now it's time to do the wrap up. Alright guys, it's now time to do the wrap up of both boxes. So we'll start with the pennies. So right here is a 2000 Canadian penny. And then the next one is a 1995. Another 1995. And then a 1973. And then the Centennial Canadian penny, a 1967. And then right here is the oldest, which is a 1946. And it's King George VI. Now we have some S mint mark pennies. So right here is a 1974 S, another 1974 S, and then another one that's 1974 S. Then right here is a 1964 penny, and this one's in really good condition. It still has mint luster. And this box has a bunch of wheat pennies, starting with 1957. And then 1956, and then 1955. And there's one that has a little bit of mint luster. 1953, 1952, 1950, 1949, 1946, 1945, 1944. I have a bunch from 1944. 1941. And then the oldest penny in the box is a 1936. So this one's over 80 years old. Now we'll move on to the nickels. So right here is a 1989 Canadian nickel. Then I have a 1970S, 1968S, and another 1968S. And now we'll get on to the older stuff. So here's a 1960 in really good condition. And then here's 3 from 1958. Then 1957, 1956, 1955, 1954, 1953, 1952, 1949, 1946, 1942, and these are not war nickels. Those aren't the silver ones. 1941, and a bunch of 1940s. And then there's one that's in really good condition right here. This one, it still has mint luster on it, on the front side and the back side. And then the oldest nickel in the box, which is a 1939. And then the most valuable nickel is this 1943. It's a war nickel. It's 35% silver. And it's really awesome to find silver in the box of nickels. And I'm happy to find silver. But anyways, that was a really good hunt. But that will be all for today. Good luck and happy hunting.